Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and we are going live, and I wanted to do this live and describing what is going on in the collective and what we're kind of feeling and taking the pulse real quick and just getting this quick download of what I was experiencing was that we're getting rid of old sensations. And what I mean by old sensations, it could be experiences, it could be a past memory or past trauma, or something that you went through in a past lifetime that generates a sensation that feels uncomfortable, or you get triggered by it, or something arises, something presents itself to you, something comes up within your own awareness, and it generates this old sensation that you're feeling, and you get kind of triggered, you get kind of in a debilitating state, and you kind of feel like it surrounds everything in your life, but it's actually not an overall truth. It was something of a false identification, it was a false awareness. But getting rid of those old sensations is feeling in those sensations and being able to release those sensations so that you're generating more feeling and vibration within your experiences, within what you're experiencing right now and what you're projecting right now, and how you're vocalizing how you feel as a way of empowerment. So understanding that you're empowering what you feel in this moment when you say a specific phrase, or when you're in a circumstance and you feel that sensation arise, and it's kind of like a trigger, and it's kind of like reflecting to you that whatever's happening is not really feeling good and it's not feeling in alignment. So that's when we are allowed to learn our own lessons. We're able to learn our own reflections, and we're able to discern who we really are in this very moment because we're getting rid of old sensations. It's like some of you could have been poor in your other lifetimes, and for some reason when money becomes an issue with you, or money becomes more of a problem with you, and sometimes when you have a hard time spending money, sometimes we do have poverty consciousness that comes in from past lifetimes, and it generates a sensation that we really don't like, and then we kind of get into a debilitating state or get in a thought process, or we emote in a certain way that's not really vibrationally sound and it's not very conscious. So when we're able to really discern how we can generate a new sensation is how we're able to direct the focus and have healthy annoyance and healthy ignorance, so that we're able to ignore something and direct our focus somewhere else, so then we're able to deal with it once we're out of the debilitating state, once we're out of the sensation. So it's kind of understanding, like when you're experiencing a sensation that does not feel very good, it means that it's a healthy reflection, so that you're able to deal with that sensation so that you can place a new sensation within that vibration that is old, that is muddy, that is not working for you. So you're changing how you are experientially, and you're changing the experience, and you're changing how it appears to you and how it manifests to you when you're changing the sensation of what you're experiencing. So it's kind of like something that I'm trying to learn, like on my birthday, like it's my birthday today. And sometimes I have a hard time letting people bless me. I have a hard time letting people want to do things for me, or pay things for me, or do things for me. And then sometimes I really have to let go of the sense of like what it means to feel like that. I'm changing the sensation of how I feel about it, because I have to change the fact that I need to receive and I need to allow people to bless me. So it's kind of like in that example there, when you're able to change the sensation of your own experiences and your manifestations, that means you're empowering them so that they're able to subtract the old distorted experiences and manifestations and situations and even people, so that you're able to generate the new sensations that you're feeling here and now. So it means it changes your emotions, it changes your thought process, it changes your identity of how you feel as a human, even though you're not human. You're just a soul channeling a human, and you're a human channeling a soul. So it kind of goes both ways. So there's kind of a psychological side of spirituality, and then there's the internal side of spirituality, and the external is trying to come into balance with the internal. So the non-physical is trying to embrace the physical. So that means that it's trying to change the sensations and how they come to be, and the appearances and the experiences and the reflections that we get. So if there's something in our lives that we really don't like to experience, it just means that we have to change how we are vocalizing it, how we are choosing to go about it, how the pattern presents itself and how we're able to sever the tie of the pattern of the energetic bondage. And then we have the understanding that it's not dwelling within right or wrong, but it's all about when you do get triggered, it means that it's trying to prove a truth to you. So there's a truth being learned there, there's a reflection, there's something being revealed inside of ourselves. The light and the dark are coming more into balance, but it means that we're facing ourselves. We're actually clearing and releasing and shedding off those layers of skin, kind of like a snake, so that we're able to actually be coherent, actually function, and have that heart coherence of the gut, of the heart, and the mind. So it means that you're developing the twin heart. It means that you're interconnected and not disconnected. Now, when I say that you're interconnected, it's not a bad thing to be disconnected. A lot of people think it's bad to be disconnected. But being disconnected, just for a little bit, brings you back and gives you balance when you're interconnected. Because if you're connected all the time and you're doing so much work and you're living your life and you're spinning so many plates at once, you're not going to have too much balance to balance your energy. So you have to have a fine balance of generating your own sensations and knowing that you get to pick your own sensations, your thoughts, your sense perceptions, and your emotions, and your experiences, and your manifestations, and how you feel about money, how you feel about love. But it's all about really loving yourself and getting into the state of reception when you have different sensations and different vibrations and a different understanding of who you are. So I wanted to get on this live because I haven't been live in a week because I've been dealing with my own stuff within myself, but also just life in general. And what I've really understood is that sometimes we really have to feel those sensations, and we can try to love and light all we want, but we really have to get that sense of sense and sensibility within ourselves. And it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have days of release. And it's okay to have days where you do feel a little bit disoriented, because that disorientation allows you to really focus again. When you're disoriented and you're not focused and you're kind of lost, that actually allows you to find your footing again and get back on track and get back on the path. Because there's an understanding of how the discernment, the understanding, the wisdom that comes in, it's giving you that state of realization, a state of appreciation, but also vocalization. And then you're able to generalize things and actually be coherent in the way that you process them. Because if we're not processing and we keep elevating, then we're going to get too far ahead of ourselves. And then guess what? You're going to have to go back to this level, and then you're going to have to go back up. But you're not going to go so far back that you're not going to remember what it's like to be in that high vibration. But it just means that there's a balance of actual light and a healthy ego, and not an unhealthy ego. That means that you're not scatterbrained. That means that you're not impatient. That doesn't mean that you're just forceful and you're just emoting all the time and you're just vomiting on everybody. But it actually means that it kind of humbles you and it kind of reconfigures everything and shifts the vibration and the chakras and makes sure that they're back into balance. We need balance within our lives, because if we don't have that, then the sensations will run wild, and then we will run wild, and then we will not embrace our free will. Free will isn't just the ability to go out and just mess up your life, but free will is having the ability to take a step back and reevaluate your life and really analyze it and start making those automatic choices that are helping you generate those different sensations. So it's kind of like giving yourself the permission, giving yourself permission to be that will, that empowerment, that different sensation within yourself, and giving yourself that permission, giving yourself that understanding that I can be what I want to become. I may not feel it, I may not think it, I may not perceive it. It may not be reflecting back to me, or maybe I'm not looking when it's being appeared into awareness. But it doesn't mean that it's not a true statement. But it actually means that that is the illusion that we need to see through. We all have illusions, we all have delusions, we all have peaks and valleys, highs and lows, ups and downs. No matter how you describe it, everybody on this planet is learning how to generate those different sensations. No matter if they're an entrepreneur, no matter if they're a scientist, no matter if they're a Christian, everybody's going through their spiritual journey. And just because I talk about enlightenment and psychic abilities doesn't mean that I'm not speaking to everybody when I say this message. It may not resonate for you, but it may resonate to a certain degree. So if we have the willingness to be free, if we have the willingness to open up, if we have the willingness within ourselves to really embrace ourselves and to really align to our heart and not always go by our mind, then the gut and the heart really allow us to be more comfortable pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Like for an example, I went ziplining. And when you're going ziplining, you're going really high even though you're strapped in. And I did the entire course, and my girlfriend did too, but it was still pushing myself to do something that I'm not comfortable with, and it was a total surprise for me the other day. And I did the leap of faith where you go on this 25-foot telephone pole, and they have you strapped in, but you have to jump up and hit a ball. So I did the entire course, which made me feel more comfortable doing that. And with meditation, it kind of pushes you to do certain things that you wouldn't normally do. Maybe go on a roller coaster, maybe go on a hike, maybe do something that you're not really comfortable with doing, and then pushing yourself and thrusting yourself to do that said thing. Which really allows you to see that when you're generating that new sensation within yourself, that means that you're more comfortable, you have more self-control, you have more self-restraint, and you're not giving into the temptation of that lack, of that non-vibrancy, of that willingness to be understood and accepted and to be in that state of reception. So when we allow ourselves to do that, that means that we are reflecting the Creator within ourselves. And when we are reflecting the Creator within ourselves, the Creator is very fair but firm. Now, think about that. So every feeling, every sensation, every trigger, everything that we feel really deeply within our souls, that means that's something that needs to be carried out of ourselves. And we need to have that metaphysical surgery. And sometimes it's just about changing your routine and actually having fun and actually tapping into that inner child. But it's also kind of facing yourself. Kind of looking yourself in the mirror and not looking away until you know that person once again. Or sometimes it's journaling. Sometimes it's focusing on something that you've been putting off. All of these sensations are healthy sensations, or else we would not have them. But most of the time, we always have sensations that are unhealthy. And they turn into an unhealthy pattern. They can be like an unhealthy diet. They can turn into something that is really not benefiting us. So they're not benefiting us and they're not helping us. So what is that? That's indulgence. That's enabling yourself to not really grow and combat what is inside of you. So when we have an unhealthy indulgence, and then, there's people with eating disorders and things of that nature, but it's kind of the same thing when you think about it. Sometimes putting yourself down is the same thing as eating McDonald's every day. It may not make you fat, but it makes you feel like shit, right? That might have not been the best example, but it's the same thing. Like, you put yourself down, it's the same thing as eating donuts every single day. It's the same thing as not exercising. You want to go for a run, but you keep putting it off, and you're like, I don't want to do it because I don't feel like doing it. But once you get past it, like once you get past each stage of running, then you're running for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or even running certain miles if you track it that way. So everybody has these sensations arise. We all have these sensations that arise out of us. And whether we agree to that or understand that or not, it's just a simple basis of truth. And I think it's what we're all dealing with and what I've been experiencing and what I've been feeling in my journey and the information that I got, I didn't even know what I was going to talk about and do a meditation on, was the very fact that we're here to revitalize our experiences, our sensations, and our thoughts, but also the way that we feel internally, so that it can ground us back into the earth. And when it allows us to be grounded, more centered with the earth and more centered with our vibration, that means that we're fine within ourselves. There's a fine-tuning, there's a refinement, there's something within ourselves that we're able to deal, that we're able to make an impact on. And that we're not a finished product, but we're able to work from there. And if we're able to do that, then that means that we're able to push out all of the other energy. And we're able to push that out, and we're able to add more in, which is in a constant state of reception. So it's kind of like, you can look at the pyramid going up or going down. But I would think of it as going up. Because as you keep going higher and higher and higher, that means you're more balanced with your finances, you're more balanced with your sensations, with your regimen, with your routine, with everything within your life. And it's a steady, consistent flow. It's just steady and consistent, and it never stops. That means life never really stops. We think that it stops because we feel like we're in the essence of time. But there is no time. Even though things take time in this world to manifest, our sensations, our feelings, our sense perceptions, our manifestations, our awareness, our soul is forever. We may not live forever as a human, but we live on as a soul. And I think that's what it is that our awareness, our sensations here may be brief, but really, realistically, as a soul, they're eternal, they're forever. So that's why we have this lifetime to work it out, to fine-tune everything, and to bring everything back into balance, back into a grounded form, and to really understand what our sensations are. So, I wanted to do a meditation with you guys. I haven't gone live in like a week, so I'm going to start getting back on the horse, and I will start to go live again doing readings. I might do some readings tonight around 10 or 11 because I'm going to watch movies, and I get to pick out the movies because it's my birthday. So we're going to do a meditation, so if you want to take part in this meditation, feel free to do so. Feel free to receive, and feel free to be a part of this. So, everybody take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in. And relax. And take a deep breath and then out. So with this meditation, we're trying to change our sensations, our reflections, and our triggers once we experience them, so that we can have a healthy ego, a healthy state of equilibrium, and a healthy state of the balance of the heart, of the gut, and the mind, and developing that twin heart within ourselves, and to become infinity once again, to embrace our mind-body-spirit complex, so that we can embrace the I am presence once again. So when an experience arises to you, when it is experienced, when you're sensing a past trauma, allow yourself to feel that sensation, forgive that sensation, and then release the sensation, let it go, and then receive the new sensations within yourself. So receive the new sensations as they come. They could be happy, they could be joyous, they could be exponentially adventurous if you want them to be. So severing the tie of the pattern, or severing the tie of the emotional pattern, or even the traumatic pattern within yourself. Because what you're doing is that you're changing the manifestation of life. And you're cleansing the palette of the mind, of the body, and the spirit, but also the lifetimes, good or bad, light or dark. So once you do that, there's a chain reaction. There's a spontaneous combustion. And there's literally something that changes the organism of the configuration of energy. It means that you changed in a blink of an eye, because you became the author of your life in that moment. In a matter of seconds, you cut the tie. You forgot about it, you forgave it, you let it go. You did not make it a part of the ego, but you made it a part of a growing expansion within your reception. So in this moment, you've elevated the energy. You've changed the direction of your psychic compass. Of your psychic atomic energy, you balance your chakras in this moment as well. This means that you've changed how you view your relationships, your finances, your emotions, your sensations, but also your reflections, because the reflections initiate the sensations. And then that sensation turns into a trigger, which turns into emotion, and then that turns into unhealthy indulgence. Then it can turn into self-doubt, self-deprecation. But you kind of halted that, you stopped that, you changed it, you deleted it out of your system in that moment. So therefore, you removed it, you subtracted it. And then that's not even a part of your energy center anymore. It's not even something that you talk about. It's not something that you understand. It's not something that you go about anymore. And it's just kind of like, why was I even feeling that way or thinking that way or being that way? But we all have to go through it. But once you go through it, then it feels really good. It's kind of like an exercise or something that you haven't tried before, or a food that you haven't tried before, because you don't know how it's going to taste. But then when you do taste it and you really enjoyed it, or it really wasn't for you, that doesn't mean that you did yourself a disservice. It just means that you had to test it out. And then it's kind of like running. You get past that run, you get past that 30-minute run, it's over, and then you can go do something else that you really wanted to do. It's just kind of getting over the mountain. That's all it really is. Because it puts into perspective and reinforces the understanding that if I change the way I feel, if I change how it is presented to me, how it appears to me, how it manifests itself into existence, and I become the existence of it, that means that it can't be altered, distorted, discombobulated, anything like that. It can't be an annoyance, it can't be hatred or judgment, but it can only be love, perseverance, resilience, and an understanding of the true absolute nature of the I Am Presence. And you just treat it as if it's something that you have to tweak. Rather, you're a songwriter or a painter. Sometimes you write a set of lyrics like, oh, that didn't go well together as I thought it would. And it's kind of like a painter. You can just kind of retrace over it and just kind of tweak it and use a different color. And yeah, that looks a little bit better. So treat your sensations, your emotions, your finances, everything like that. That you're just tweaking it a little bit. Sometimes it just takes a little step to really just change how you feel about it. And then once you do, there's this big weight that is lifted off of you. There's this big weight. And it just feels like so good to just let go of it. It's kind of like getting the monkey off your back, you know? Just throw that monkey off. And you can make it as simple as you want it to be with meditation. It doesn't have to be this science project that everybody makes it to be. Sometimes I make it like that, but it's just kind of like make it really simple. Just say, no, I choose today to change. I choose today to transform. I choose today to say that enough is enough, and I am not the temptation of that sensation. No matter how much it tries to tempt me, I don't give my power away to it. And that can be your affirmation. Every single day that you just say that I will not give in to the temptation of that sensation. That sensation is not me. That is not I. I am only I am. And I am because you are. So therefore we all are that. And it's as simple as that, and it's very powerful. And we all just choose to let go. And as the meditation is coming to a close, allow yourselves to take a big, deep breath. And exhale and release very slowly. Just know that your God manifested in the human form, which is the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. Come back into balance, be centered, be grounded, and so it is. Okay. So that was the meditation, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you enjoyed the meditation. I hope you took part in it. And I really appreciate you stopping by and being a part of the meditation. And until next time, this is White Wolf. So just be able to release the sensations, be able to release the energies, and just be able to have discernment with them and just be patient with it. So this is White Wolf. God bless. Namaste. And you have a wonderful evening, morning, day, or night.